Another example, we worked with a company called Blue Door. So Blue Door is a company that they're trying to help the homeless issue. So they wanted to build a homeless shelter in Aurora, which is our neighboring town. And they brought it to the city council and they voted no. Not everybody, but I think it was like a 4-3 vote no. So they didn't get approval to build the shelter. So we were meeting with them. So we always start with the companies or the people or the organizations and we say, well, what do you need? What are your biggest problems? What do you struggle with? And they said, well, I don't know. And I don't know what kids could do. Like that's where it always starts. And then we said, well, no, really, don't think about kids. Just what do you struggle with? And they're like, we really wish that this hadn't been shut down because we worked so hard and we really had the location, we had the funding, we wanted it to happen. And we're like, so why do you think it was shut down? Well, there's a stigma about homelessness. We're like, oh, maybe there's something in there students could do. So the students took that, right? And they said, yeah, we could write the stories of how Blue Door helps people and the impact of this company on changing that homeless experience, right?
Yeah.
And we could help reduce the stigma of homelessness and tell different stories of how people might find themselves homeless for a short period of time or whatever. So the students had to research, talk to different organizations, and they had to meet with them and talk about what was happening on the streets.
Right.
Why were people homeless? What were they like? Who were they? How did they get there? Yeah. And they wrote this lengthy storybook. And then they invited in the town councillor that had voted no. And they presented it to him. And they said, let's have a discussion around it. And at the end of the session, the fellow said, maybe I voted wrong. That's impact. And Blue Door now has that storybook that they can share with others. It helps students to empathize and understand what's happening in their society. It helps organizations. It builds a connected community and an informed citizenship.